It gave him his Lina. He does so well with this hero.
Yeah, and he's playing into a very squishy lineup. That is kind of my biggest concern that's coming out from Hippomaniacs is I don't know who their frontliner is. Your Wraith King, when he has to be your only real frontliner, is always a big concern for me because he has to take a lot of time to farm to be able to join and get into the fray, especially this game. He needs to get a Radiance at a good time so they have that PL solution. And then who's actually their frontliner? It has to just be Death Prophet, which always really scares me when you're playing versus like Lina and Earthshaker. There's ways for her to just die instantly if she does act as the frontliner.
They just don't have the heroes necessary to enable each other. It feels a little like...
Yeah, I just don't know who leads the charge, right? It's gonna have to be like a BKB Bat Rider charging in, and that's a lot of farm that you're asking about for Curry to have, especially in this really tough matchup versus Alina. This is not an easy one for the Bat Rider.
Well, that and you think of the fact that, yes, they have switched off roles, on and off over on the side of Hippos, but like Stormstormer, like this is where he shines, right? This is his home. The mid lane is where he was born and bred here, it feels like. And then all of a sudden you're bringing in someone who's recently, tried to kind of flip over a little bit, but maybe not as experienced, especially not with, the team, so.
No, that's always a good thing to point out, definitely. As we're seeing bottom lane, they have a little bit of a better time this time with the Undying. Without the Undying, they have the CM to at least nuke away the Nature's Prophet, but Wraith King, he just gets bullied. This is where Rasmus can actually go Blightstone this game. Last game, he had to go for boots at the start. You're versus Wraith King, he has like no armor. We talk about that so often. You just hit him with the Treants and with yourself. They can't actually get aggressive onto him unless Rasmus makes a big mistake.
I mean, he's all bones. What's he gonna do,
Yeah, he is all bones. He even gets a second Ring of Protection delivered.
Oh.
So this is something I haven't seen. I've seen the Chainmail rushes, the Helm of Iron Wool rushes, but double Ring of Protection is quite a commitment.
Do you like it? Or do you think that it's just trying to put a Band-Aid on a situation that's already very uncomfortable?
It's kind of a waste of gold because he doesn't build up into anything. So that's my only...
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cheap.
It is what it is. It's cheap, but it doesn't provide... It literally provides you nothing. You're going to have to sell it for space at some point. But we'll see if it makes his lane a little bit better.
A little bit of harass here in the top lane. Not too much. Wave is getting shoved in a bit.
Yeah, at least this lane is... It can be a little bit easier to play because they are double range versus Witch Doctor. They at least don't have to worry about... Oh, okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It looked cool for a moment there, Muff.
Hey, at least he got it. You never get those chances in these type of games.
Very true.
So at least they can get the harassment, and they're not at risk of dying up here unless they make a big mistake on Hippomaniacs, but they're not slowing down Ace either. He already has his Ring of Health purchased.
I would argue that it feels very, very scary right now. The fact that Stormstormer's doing as well as he is in that mid lane with last hits and denies, and then also the fact that Ace is still having all of this free farm.
Yep. Ace, and they've even skilled they've recognized that they can't actually kill the Rubik and the Death Prophet. They just skilled the Voodoo Restoration, has Ring of Health, so he can eat that harassment. His free farm will continue. Gilger, we see him do this very often, I feel like. He always gets couriers.
Especially when he's playing the Nyx Assassin. I don't know what it is. His positioning is just very on point with that.
His Nyx and his Shaker. Shaker's always great because you can enchant Totem hit it, so that one happens. But Nyx, you're right. I saw him get like 4 couriers as Nyx went in.
I think we were casting that game together.
I think we were, yeah.
The true assassin. You could not protect a courier against that man. Otherwise, pretty calm right now in terms of laning. Probably going to see a little bit of movement coming out around that 4-minute mark just to secure runes for people.
Yep, looking to get a little aggressive on bottom. They have to watch out, though. The Fissure is in, and Mambos is kind of stuck. He'll be able to cut the tree.
All right, some movement coming out from the side of Hippos here, and also from the side of Hellbear Smashers looking for these runes. This is going to be bottom. Stormer.
Gaben just agreeing with the Smashers, as we saw, last game as well. Poor Hippomaniacs wasn't able to get the 4-minute rune.
That's going to make it even more difficult there for that Death Prophet, who's really starting to fall behind here. 14-5 currently against the 26-8.
Yeah.
On Melina.
Oh, the bat, yeah.
Or sorry, oh yeah, that's right. Death Prophet's in the off lane. My bad. So used to seeing it in the mid lane.
Yeah. Death Prophet's doing okay. It's just they can't slow down Ace because he got the Ring of Health so early and because Tofu went for the heal. Curry, the one thing that you have to do for a bat now, if you are struggling this much, you have to get the Ancient stack going. You have to have a backup plan for if his lane does go bad, which it is going bad. And he needs to get enabled, otherwise this hero, especially in the mid lane, really can fall behind. Gilger, he's on the hunt.
down. Oh, no. The puppy. No. Gilgear hates puppies. Confirmed.
No.
Runes are up, though. 5 minutes here. Curry's going to be able to grab the bounty. And they do a scan, so they do realize he moved his way over. Did he stack, though, is the question.
He did. He did stack his Ancient. So he is identifying the fact that, you know, he's versus Lena. Lane is rough. Has to have a way to catch back up. Top.
Tofu is actually going to escape, I think. They don't have quite enough damage thanks to that Voodoo Restoration being skilled.
It's actually paying off very much so up top. They're not getting kills in this top lane, but that's not the plan. That's not the plan from Smashers with this PL Witch Doctor this time around.
I mean, you look at that. You look at the top of all these last hits and denies, and it's all going over to the cores on the side of Hellbear Smashers.
Yeah, definitely a concern. And Rasmus isn't getting pressured. He's not slowing down the Wraith King too. Actually, he's slowing him down pretty decently. And he's going to hit 6 on the Nature's Prophet. And that's when the pace of the game really starts to just kick up. Top lane has to be super worried of a big Wrath of Nature coming through. Even the mid-bat, things start to really speed up really quickly when that does hit.
Looks like they're
We'll get lucky for a rune at least, Curry.
I think they got another stack off as well, so that'll help out for Mr. Bat.
Yeah, at least a hard camp. Not the Ancient, though. I want to see a quad Ancient stack for this man, so he can get Boots of Travel without having just being in a horrible position already, as Lena's going to have Boots of Travel to match it beforehand.
Uh-oh.
He needs to just get Enable Lore.
I thought for sure that they were going to make moves onto Peck here, but... Again, they're just focused on farming it. Yeah, no, I mean, he was sitting so low. I was actually very surprised that they didn't try to make a play, but I'm guessing Ace was like, no, just let me hit back, hit farm.
Yeah, they could have probably swung Rasmus pre-6 up there, but I think they're really focusing on just... We're free farming in our lanes anyway. Like Lena, PL, free farm. Nature's Prophet's getting full levels and full farm too, so wait to make a big aggressive move, unless Hippomaniacs, of course, just gives you a kill for that Wrath of Nature. Right. It's just going to be an easy setup when they have that.
Definitely, patience is going to pay off. But another stat coming out here, so Batrider is catching up in terms of net worth, so he's doing exactly what we need him to do.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be able to farm it at a quick pace. He's thankful that he has an Arcane Rune too, so maybe he'll get it at a pretty close time to Stormstormer, but Stormstormer has the bot stun now after the next few creeps.
That's pretty scary. We've seen what Stormstormer starts to do when he's got that freedom to move around the map.
Yep. All right, Rasmus, you've got 6 now. They've got Wrath of Nature. Let's see if Gilgear looks to set up for a move for them, because they can easily kill up toward that top lane if they'd like to see a chance. Same thing for mid. A stun, an Airshaker Fissure plus a Lena stun. Wrath of Nature, he's dead. Might not even need the Laguna.
I think he picked up a smoke earlier on the Airshaker, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, he's got the 2. He's done this a lot of their games. He actually buys one right at the start, because you know you start with 2. He actually just gets the frequency building up already. He's one of the few 4 players I've seen doing it very consistently.
Well, they have a lot of wards up, though, over on the side of Hippomaniacs to ensure that if he does rotate out of the lane and he doesn't use a smoke, they'll be able to spot him a mile away, so. It's 8 minutes, and we still haven't had a first blood yet. I'd like to point that out.
No, we haven't. And Curry's going to start, so let's watch.
All right, here we
go. The point of Batrider, look at his net worth right now, and look at the Lenas. So this is, you know, this is one of those big reasons why we're seeing this Batrider so often. Sure, your lane can go bad, but you've got ways to just catch right back up. And this is the move. Gilgear, he's smoking. They've got the Wrath available. They can easily kill this Death Prophet Tipic if he's too far forward.
Muff, teleporting out. Tibek is all alone. Could make something happen here. Gilgear does get spotted out. Tibek, though. Scott over here on the side. Fissure comes out. He's going to be blocked off as Rasmus comes up as well. They've got the Maledict down over onto Tibek, but does manage to survive a little bit here, being able to use the Spirit Siphons. Looks like he's going to be all right. Gilgear, though, not if Gilgear finds him. He's looking. Frostbite comes out from Seni. Gilgear needs to be careful. Curry is here. He's starting to get those stacks of sticky up. It's going to be the LSA to break down the trees. Gilgear, he's taking too much. He's going to get dragged back. This is going to be probably our first blood here. So they'll find a kill onto Gilgear. And not managed to get a tower.
Hippomaniacs, they were prepared for it. They had the Batrider he was naturally farming his Ancients right there anyway. He connects over. Look at his net worth now.
Yeah.
Above the Lena after such a brutal start. As Stormstormer was crushing the lane, he just does his Ancient stacks and gets handed that first blood.
Stormstormer, though, playing up against the tower, realizing there's no last early to worry about for now, so it's a decent chunk of damage.
Yep, refilled the bottle mid. And Mambos gets the pressure pushed off of him down bottom decently. Now he's going to be able to resort to the jungle. farm up as this Wraith King. He's gonna go for the armlet first. This might be a game where he just has to go Radiance first item, honestly. As much as you want the armlet in some of these games, there's not that many merits versus a PL, I don't feel, at least. I feel like he just needs to get Radiance so that he can actually show up to the fights and be decent versus PL.
I think it's just a pressure thing, though. He's just worried, like, oh, okay, I have to fight earlier, though. I can't.
Maybe that is how he's feeling. Maybe he does feel like he has to join in.
Because just the way that the Hellbear Smashers have been playing consistently throughout this tournament is they reach a certain power point, and they just immediately, you know, start running at you, and they don't let up. But at the same time, you kind of have to play your own game of Dota too, right?
Yeah, he's got to play his own game, and his team has to make the space for him. And they'll do that whenever they have Lasso. Curry is going to start farming more Ancients, so he is denying that area away from Mombos, which could hurt the Wraith King, but hey, Curry's playing to his own game, playing to his own strength right now.
It's a pretty big stack that he's going to be able to clean up and get a decent chunk of gold for that as well.
Yep. And we said that, you know, the bots BKB is the most important thing for them to have that pseudo frontliner on Hippomaniacs. He's gonna get it at an okay time as long as he doesn't start dying a lot. I mean, it's only 1 kill in the game so far, so if that says anything, maybe he will get it for free.
It is a bit curious that Stormstormer has kind of been just sitting around in the mid lane. I usually feel like he's a little bit more aggressive, but perhaps that's because he usually has a better action rune that comes available.
Yeah, he has been very calm.
Gilgear.
Sure, it's Gilgear. He's gonna get spotted, and he is looking quite dead.
Yeah, he's not looking good here. He's caught over on the side, and he gets burnt to a crisp here.
He gave Fissure as well.
Did gave Fissure, and this is not looking great here for the Nature's Prophet as he got stunned up and is just getting chewed away by these ghosts. Tofu gets off the ultimate. The silence comes off as well, though. Looks like he's just gonna get chased down by Tepek here. Needs maybe a little bit more damage. Mambo's joining in. Tepek still is gonna get that double kill.
Very nice. They show up to the action, and Gilgear not expecting to be under any vision there. That ward did see him for a second. They catch him, and yeah, now Rubik has Fissure, so that's going to give a lot more potential for Hippos to fight around. Their Exorcism does end, so I think damage for the most part is done. But hey, 4 kills.
It's a good start. I'm going to need a little bit more than that, but definitely, you know, putting that pressure down. And usually it's the Hellbear Smashers who are doing that.
Yeah, and I think they also got the tower deny, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Seni did get the deny on that mid tower too. And they've got good defensive ward coverage, so they look like they're content with now just, you know, pace of the game slowing down a little bit while they can get these next few items of farm, get the BKB on Curry, slow farm the Radiance. And Smashers aren't going to be able to take advantage of this too much with this slowdown to the game.
Did he change his mind here?
Oh no, Mombos, yeah, he's going to just go straight Radiant.
Okay, I like that. I like that much better,
Yeah.
like you were saying. There's just really no reason not to do that against a PL.
Especially not after now you've gotten these 4 kills, you're starting to feel some momentum. You're probably like, okay, my team can make the space for me. My Batrider can find
Oh, Gilgear again. It's off the enchant totem. They use the Wrath of Nature, but the Frostbite, and then he's just going to burn to death.
And they save the lasso. So now they can set up for a future gank with the Butcher Travels on another side. This is looking pretty decent for Hippomaniacs. Exorcism down for 20, so not looking to play around Tepek yet. But when they have that one up, I could see Curry looking to go down bottom and look for an opportunity.
But I mean, look at there's not much of a gold lead here. Yes, you've got 5 kills on the board, right, for the side of Hippos, but it's so neck and neck still, and they're still farming quite well on the side of Hellbear Smashers.
Yeah, but you did get your Batrider out of a pretty horrible situation of the lane, right? So I feel like in that situation, you're kind of happy. You're happy you're playing versus like this Earthshaker, Nature's Prophet, and you've evened the game out to slow it down for your Wraith King to farm. You know, things aren't getting out of control.
That's true. They aren't getting out of control, so definitely has to make you feel a little better.
You can itemize to deal with PL. That's the other thing too, right? If they don't have the overall AoE to deal with these illusions, the itemization is always something that can't come out. The Radiance, you know, these big 3 tickers we always say is Radiance, Crimson Guard, Shivas. And they can build at least 2 of those items decently. Crimson Guard is an awkward one for their lineup, but Batrider can go BKB into Shivas. Wraith King's gonna have Radiance, so they will have tools to deal with the PL as long as he doesn't get out of control.
And right now, it feels like he is fairly controlled.
Yeah.
Definitely not super hard pressured, but, you know, he's not popping off like we usually see Ace do. And I think also, you know, Gilgear usually is the one who's making a lot of moves around the map early.
He is.
And this time, they've done so well with the vision to keep tabs on him the entire time that he's not being allowed to, you know, get that Blink Dagger super early and start making these huge contributions to fights.
Yeah, they've really addressed Gilgir a lot. We're gonna see him look to start making moves with Stormstormer, as Stormstormer now has the Yules. Since he went bots, you know, this Lina was a very farm-esque Lina. 152 last hits, 0/0/0 kill involvement. Now he can look to help Gilgir. Because Gilgir usually does get his blink around 14, 15 minutes. This one has been quite shut down.
It does feel weird too. Like I feel like Stormstormer, again, I think sometimes that really depends on what rune he's able to get secured for him. But usually I feel like they're making more plays around the map earlier on.
Yeah.
Especially when you have that Nature's Prophet, right? The fact that he can be a global presence.
Yeah, they did. I think just like the 1 or 2 mistakes that they had really slipped them up. Like that top where they didn't get the kill on the Death Prophet, they got turned on and lost a couple heroes. Probably changed their idea of how they wanted to play, so they're just playing it more farm and waiting for these items and maybe just looking to win the fights just off spellcasting. Because Gilgir, he will get the blink. He is having a good time. Ace is getting his farm. Lina is getting their farm, so. And now they have an Orchid also done on Rasmus. So their cores are effectively still chilling at the top there.
I mean, you've got the Bat Rider who's sitting at the top, but look at the discrepancy between the 3 cores on the side of Hellbear Smashers.
Yeah. Gilgir top almost gets set up on Bat Rider BKB, so the front line is there. This is hard to stop. He just BKB and just find any one of the targets. And Stormstormer, he actually shows his face.
Immediately, though, starts walking off to the side.
Haste, Arcane, Bat Rider, the dream.
The Exorcism, Stormstormer, he's got to get out of there, and he's got to get out of there fast. BKB's already been popped here by Curry. He's going to try to buy some time, try to waste it out a little bit, but they'll grab hold of Stormstormer. Rest of the team coming in, the Fissure gets dropped out, but the Exorcism goes and cleans up over onto Stormstormer. Senny left behind here, just getting chased down by Ace. Rasmus was trying to make things happen on the back line, but Muff goes down. Eventually, he gets chased down by Tipek, but now he's got to run. These ghosts are doing a decent amount of damage. The Spirit Siphon doing a decent amount over onto Ace, but they just don't want to commit after losing that many of the heroes.
Arcane and Haste Rune to just dive past and find Lina with ease. 2 core heroes for 2 supports. They don't quite take down the tower, but hey, a decent hit from Hippomaniacs as the Wraith King is still just farming, getting that Radiance at a pretty okay time.
Yeah, look at that. He pops the BKB and then tries to take the silence off, tries to buy a little bit more time before the rest of his team comes in, but just a little too difficult for the side of Hellbear Smashers, and Hippos grab themselves a really nice fight.
Yeah. Hey, the absolute dream for the Bat. Yeah. Arcane, Haste Rune as he gets his BKB done, and they've done a great job this game of just making Curry that beast. He's part of all 7 kills this game. They enabled him perfectly so far, and if they can keep it up, they do definitely have some hope in this game. You know, Mambo is going to have Radiance at a decent time versus the PL. It's going to be a lot up to just actual team fights, which if he can just train onto Stormstorm every single time, it doesn't look bad for Hippomaniacs. They can just remove that Lina's effectiveness pretty decently if they can get on top of her.
Now he's got the Bull Whip on top of that, so he's going to be a very mobile Bat Rider here.
My second favorite item.
All right, so when you play, do you have this urge to just be like, every time? Because I totally do, every time.
Yeah. Yep. Always using it on myself, using it on enemy. Even if you can't kill the enemy, you just whip them.
Yeah.
It feels so bad to just get whipped in the middle of nowhere.
It's definitely a fun item for sure, and does a decent amount here.
Tipik bottom. We'll know that the Lina's set up. They have to blink on Gilgir. He's looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, it's a bit late for him, like we said.
It is.
Usually gets it much earlier. Has his own whip, though.
The ward's right next to each other right now. Both teams just playing with some clear understanding of where they are. Who's going to get the better counter? As Curry is swooping over, this will make it a bit harder for Smash.
Fissure, Laguna, down goes Senny.
So he'll reveal the fact that there's a ward. There's some ward coverage in that area there. And it's the 5 position. So good job there by the CM. Yeah. And he is pinging it immediately.
I mean, if you're going to lose someone to a gank, you want it to be your pos 5.
Yeah, they knew this was happening. Like, look at that positioning of the Rubik and the Death Prophet. They were like, someone's going to die here. All right, go in there, Senny.
Play the role you were born to play.
Yeah, playing 5 positions sometimes, you know? Your job is literally to die.
Yeah, be good, have good positioning, and ooh, Mambos.
Oh, he's actually farming the treants. They're aware of the positioning of the hero's bottom too. Can they actually punish him? He's able to scurry away.
Maybe they want to lay a trap for the 20-minute runes.
Looks like it.
Batrider picking up the Blink Dagger, too. All right, smoke coming out from the side of the Hippos. They're looking for a favorable engagement here.
Oh, Curry's got Blink. This is really good. Blink
Yeah, he just
BKB
picked that
already.
up. Yeah.
He can, yeah, if he just finds the Lina in all these fights, it could be absolutely massive. Then they just literally take out the mid. Let's see who he
Curry
does grab.
sees Tofu. Gilgir throws out the fissure. Looks like Muff over here. He's going to turn back around. They're going to be able to go burn down Tofu. He'll take a bath from the Firefly. Down he goes. Muff, can he make it out in time?
Maledict.
Ooh, the tick. Down goes Muff. So a trade on supports coming out in that engagement.
Good positioning from Gilgir. He gets the fissure to stop that Batrider from chasing in. So yeah, Curry, he has a lot of good targets he can go for in these fights. Like Lina, Earthshaker, Prophet, all are pretty decent ones. Ace is a lot harder. If he can get Ace, sure. If they do have any follow-up, because he doesn't have SNY or Manta to protect himself versus like the silence and whatnot. But that's a much harder target to go for. This is looking pretty good for Hippomaniacs, as the gold lead does slightly shift to Smashers, but it's been within 1K the whole game.
Has Lina had any kills besides that Crystal Maiden kill?
Nope.
No. Oh,
And speaking of
BKB
Lina,
from Curry. He's waiting patiently. He wants Stormstormer. The rest of the team, they can't do anything to go and interrupt this, so he's just going to get dragged back and fried to a crisp.
This is looking kind of rough for Stormstormer. He needs to find some way to protect himself, like BKBs or Blink Daggers to move away from the positioning. It's going to be BKB, but Death Prophet ult is up, and they're right around the Roche pit. This is going to be free for Hippos.
I mean, maybe you get in there, you get a nice Echo Slam, but you really need that Lina there for the burst damage. So Rasmus is already placing some pressure down the bottom lane. I think that's smart. I think that it's just really difficult to interrupt this and come out on top here if you're a Hellbear Smasher.
Yeah, without your mid laner, no way. There is no lasso, but walking into that fight is just a bit too difficult, as Ace does have S and Y, but he still doesn't want to fight without one of his core heroes. Rasmus has BKB too, so he's a lot stronger. Now there's no Exorcism, no lasso. Let's see what Hippomaniacs looks to do without either.
I thought they were going to make a play down here in the bottom area, but they're going to back off. They do manage to get the tower.
They give Curry the Aegis too, so hey, that's the method for him to just go into the back lines every time. So if he just die, either way, he's going to be able to jump into the back and get somebody.
Oh,
another Arcane.
I was about to say, another Arcane. That's like, what, his second or third this game?
Feels like, yeah, third at least. He's been finding pretty much all of them as lasso. Still down for 30. Exorcism also about 80 seconds. See if Smashers can punish this at all. As if they just wait for these spells to come back up, then Hippomaniacs is going to be the one to bring the fight to them.
I will say, though, they do have the BKB up and running now over onto Rasmus. So
they do.
That's going to make it a little bit easier for them to stand and fight. He's not going to have to worry so much about all of that, Firefly all over the ground as well, but I don't know.
Stormstormer's just food. 1400 HP Lina with no BKB, no protection. Like, Batrider just has to, like, Curry's job, just BKB, Blink, find Lina every single one of the fights, and they even have Blink follow-ups now too. Mambos has a Blink too. So, yeah, they're ticking all the boxes right now, and this is quite a close game now.
How did they get the... I feel like Hellbear Smashers need to... Look at Rasmus. He's just like, nope, 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 nope. Curry blinks forward, searching for Rasmus here. Does manage to find him. Puts out the Orchid, though. He's going to try to man-fight. Does have to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage sitting in all of this Firefly. BKB comes out. He'll go and he'll drag him right over here to Senny. Are they going to have enough here? No, he's going to have to just teleport out.
That was a pretty big slip up there by Curry, actually, not just using the lasso earlier. As soon as the BKB comes out, Rasmus knows he's fine. If lasso was already used, they have no way to cancel besides that. So, bit of a slip up there by Curry, and Rasmus benefits a lot by it. 60 seconds, no lasso. Now they're looking to make their own aggressive move.
Typic. Yeah, the fissure opened up the follow-up here with the silence, and there's going to be a Yule's Ply coming out. Buys a little bit more time, since Ring does give him a little bit more health, but at the end of the day, Typic will go down.
Let's shake.
And every little thing matters. If Rasmus dies top, there's a high chance they can't make that move bottom. And now they're actually going to continue to pressure down here. It looked like, at least from Rasmus. He's actually going to back up, give a little respect. They don't have any info. Hasn't quite bought the shard yet on the Nature's Prophet. I thought he'd be bringing that one out soon.
I think he wanted that BKB first. I think that was a higher priority for him. Although he is going straight now into the Assault Cuirass instead of the shard.
I guess he's looking to be more of like an actual fighter because his Lina's having trouble. He actually has to show up to the fights more, so I can see why. And Stormstormer, he is getting close to his BKB. He needs to get that before they have any realms of being able to fight.
All right. Well,
And Curry's got the Aether Lens. So he's not going to go for the Shiva's build. He's going to go for the Octarine. I guess that means the Death Prophet will go for Shiva's. And yeah, she is. So, yep, they're continuing to itemize versus that PL. And we'll have to see if it's all going to work out for them when Ace does look to actually join into the fray, as he's been very quietly farming in the midst of all this game. Heart on the venue, on the horizon.
No, he's just getting there. He's, you know, just kind of playing his own game very quietly right now. But you have to watch out because this Wraith King, again, he is a big baddie. He is sitting atop of the net worth, trading on and off, of course, with Ace, but like he said, they do have methods of dealing with this Phantom Lancer. They do have to be pretty precise, but I would say right now it just feels like Stormstormer is just a very expensive creep on the map.
Yeah, he's definitely a liability until he has BKB. He is getting close, but has to be so careful. If he's under a single ward, he just dies instantly. And we see the wards. I've been watching this from Hippomaniacs all game. Really good coverage. Just really deep ones, really unexpected ones that have not been dewarded yet from Smashers for the most part of this game. And they confidently push forward. They still have Aegis for about a minute. So we see Smashers are just continuing to look to farm up and split as best as possible. Gilger cutting the mid wave.
Got his shard online.
He does.
And he does what Gilgers do best, which is murder couriers. So he took out Sunny's courier, but they do have to deal with the fact that the Hippos are knocking at their front door right now. Do have Stormstormer, though, is able to clear out creep waves pretty easily, as is Gilgir.
Tough to break high ground. Don't want to knock at the doors of versus an Earthshaker at this point when your side lanes are being pushed so hard. They will have to back up and address those. Going to give a window for Smashers to come out and maybe get some D wards in particular, as these wards are problematic. Muff spots a DD top.
Radiant's top tower.
Does indeed. So I have a feeling Curry will be bottling up. And can he pass it off to someone? I would have passed. Yeah, I was about to say, give that to Mambos.
He might just grab it himself so he can farm a little faster. Mambos actually changes his choice. He had BKB queued up, and he's going to go for AC. I actually would have liked him to continue going for BKB. Wrath of Nature actually gives up the fact that there's a ward mid. Quick little D ward by the Hippos.
Radiant's top tower.
And Aegis is reclaimed.
All right, so we've got a very big item picked up now for Stormstormer. He's got his BKB.
And they got hard on Ace. So I think this is big go time here for Smashers. It's as the Aegis gets reclaimed too. And they just got some decent vision. They have these wards down bottom and in the mid lane. But Hippos, they're the one running in with this DD.
They don't have much time left on it, though, at this point. They've got to be quick and dirty with this. Smoke coming out from the side of Hellbear. Smashes. Mambos blinking into everyone. BKB immediately coming out from Stormstormer, though. He's going to sit far back here, be able to get some of these spells off. They do manage to find Ace over here on the side. Look at Curry. It's all right. They already managed to take them down once, as you're going to have the Wraith King coming right back up again. Stormstormer will crumble.
Ace?
And now Ace, he's just getting locked down. He's going to go down as well. Rasmus BKB TPing out here. Looks like Tofu's going to be left behind. And Gilgir just running for his life. I did not expect that to go that well for the Hippos. Good lord.
I did not either. Especially with Stormstormer gets the BKB off before that stun hits him. They're able to like reset kind of decently, but the PL, he doppeled into everything. He's actually just getting destroyed by Exorcism, by Radiance, even by CM ult. All these different things were hitting him, and then he gets silenced to boot. Look at him right in the middle of everything. And watch the CM ult. Everything is hitting him. Firefly, every spell connecting perfectly. And then there's the silence and a follow-up stun. And a beautiful fight. Hippomaniacs is Mambos. No chill. Jumps onto the high ground blind to start that fight.
Did you see how fast Curry, once he popped that BKB, he just beelined for Stormstormer. Once the Laguna was down, was just like all up in his face. Just nicely played. But again, the placement of Ace in the middle of all of that. It almost, you know, we criticize the draft, right? The fact that it feels like, who's going to be your frontliner? Who's going to be tanky on the side of Hippos? But now you're kind of looking at a similar problem coming out for Hellbear Smashers as Gilgir whips.
He whiffs.
Off to the side. It looks like they're still going to manage to get the kill over onto CM, but the stolen death ward from Muff goes and cleans up over onto Gilgir. Stormstorm is going to be able to walk away. Tipek. It's going to bounce back here. Gilgir buying back. Ace. Still eyes on the prize. They managed to go get off the Laguna Blade over here onto Tipek. And they are chewing him down pretty quickly, but that Spirit Siphon is doing so much to keep him alive, as is the Essence Ring. Ace is really having to work for this, and he still hasn't managed to take down this Death Prophet. Finally, as she does go down, they'll get the kill on the Rubik over on the back lines.
Top skeletons are actually pushing, though. These are buffed up skeletons, too. 61 damage.
Yeah, it looks like the Nature's Prophet will go home, go deal with those, but the pressure's on here at the bottom. Want to try to force out some buybacks or something, or at least get some damage on the tower. But they go and they get the lasso off here on the top lane. Rasmus, he's just being held in place. He's got that BKB. Stormstormer coming back as well. Is Curry going to be allowed to take this?
Wait, but Curry just botched up there.
He just
that means
boxed
he's
right
not
on
going to
up.
be at base.
He's not there. He's going to be able to fly
Ace
away, but that is one way to go and slow this down. And now over here on the side, Ace, he needs help. Gilgear still standing off onto the lines here. No mana left over here onto Mambos. As Ace is just trying to run back. They're thinking about maybe poking back in again. Gilgear throwing out the fissure, making sure they'll cut off that line so that way they can't reach Ace. Break it down for me, Fuck. What did we just watch?
Smashers trying to take advantage of cooldown timings is at least what I felt like I was watching. Just Death Prophet Exorcism was down, Lasso was down, they were charging forward. Curry now, he used the Lasso up top, so maybe this is where Smashers still has a window for something. Even if they don't have Echo, they're looking for something.
Well, they'll find Seni, and they'll use Laguna and many other things on him. So Crystal Maiden is down, but they also managed to find Tepek. Maboso jumping back in over onto the back lines. Glimmer Cape coming out will buy a little bit more time for Tofu so he can get some of these spells off. Exorcism also coming out. Rasmus, he needs to be careful here. He's got the trees. He gets bumped out, and he does go down. Stormstormer and Ace trying to man fight here. Mambos, he's still alive somehow after all is said and done. Eventually, he does go down for the first time. It feels like the Hellbear Smashers, they don't want to keep going for this, though, as they do manage to find another kill on Gilgear.
They have to start backing away. Ace is starting to run out of mana. Death Prophet ulti is ending, though, as well soon, but still Hippomaniacs trying to chase some catches. Their Lasso is up in 15, but yeah, Smashers will back away, and they can't kill Tipek in time for him before he gets the Exorcism off. As soon as Exorcism goes off, it seems really problematic for Smashers to take any of these fights. They also didn't have Echo. That was them hunting for the fight, just trying to take advantage of Lasso being down.
Yeah, I was surprised because it was still on like a 30-second cooldown when they first initiated into that fight, but it just feels like it's so hard to take down this Death Prophet. We watched Ace chase her through the entire map a little bit earlier too, like with the Spirit Siphon, Essence Ring, like it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's tough, and she's going to be going for the BKB next. They can't burst her before she gets the Exorcism off, and yeah, the fight just looks really hard for them there as Ace, he survives for a long time. His damage isn't really that overwhelming just yet because they've itemized. They've chosen for the items that you want to build versus that PL, the Shivas, the Radiance, all these things, even the AC on Mambos, everything coming into play versus Ace.
I mean, they're not going to be able to get over into this pit fast enough.
No.
This is just a free Roche for them. Do you think
Speed
that
of the game is getting hard for Smashers, it feels like.
should Stormstormer be holding all of his burst damage for the Death Prophet, do you think? Is that what they need to do right now?
It feels like he does. It feels like he has to just stay really far back. He just has to be really careful. I don't think it's just so much about his one Laguna as much as him just being able to reset the fights and get like 5-6 stuns out and fight the fights out. I think those long duration team fights are where Smashers have to excel. Even though they're playing into Exorcism, they have to like kite it and they have to play around it really, really, really well and just be careful for the Lasso to drag them back into it. It's not going to be easy fights for them.
Is it not? Indeed.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It just
No,
always
Asher.
it feels like the opposite, you know, in some of the other games, right? You've got Rasmus consistently teleporting home to go deal with the boys that are knocking at the door, instead of the fact that, you know, usually it's the Nature's Prophet who's making everybody go home.
Yeah, that is a good point, and that is something that we did see Mambos went for with his talent build. I actually never see people take either of those talents. They always take the 12 strength. They almost always take the 30 move speed. He took skeleton attack damage. He took skeleton spawned.
All right, well, they're going to finish off this mid tower with the Exorcism. You have that Aegis online.
Glyphs popped late after the tower
Oh,
dies,
the lasso drag back, though. They immediately find the Lina, and they're just trying to obliterate Stormstormer. It's okay, though. He does have the BKB. He's going to be able to survive a little bit longer. Rasmus also popping his BKB. They turn back around. They'll take down the Wraith King the first time. They need to do more, though. There's the Echo Slam coming out. They're trying to burst down this Death Prophet. She's so damn tanky, but they finally do manage to take it down. Sani is just letting it go over on the side, dropping that freezing field. And the Glimmer Cape is cute. Not going to be enough to save him this time around, as the Hellbear Smashers finally look like they've been able to take a decent fight.
That's where the Shaker gets to get everything off. Gilgear, he's been having a tough game, but when it's into your base, you're able to just get your fissures, your enchant totems perfectly. Same thing for Witch Doctor. You just have easier access to spell usage. Death Prophet, Wraith King have to be much more careful here, as Mambos doesn't have BKB, so these stuns, they're very impactful on him. He gets chain stunned and then just gets brought down. When he revives, he still has to just back away. Can't actually commit onto anyone. Might have to go for a BKB next item, but We'll see.
Is it a situation where they have to also get some sort of a pick off first before they can breach that high ground?
Is under attack.
Yeah, it was pretty over-aggressive there by Curry, just blinking in, trying to grab the Lina. You know, they don't really have that crazy amount of burst unless the Wraith King gets right on her, and he doesn't have BKB, so he can't follow up as well as he'd like to just be that right-click damage through the BKB. So I think, yeah, they'd probably need to wait for a pick-off or wait for the Abyssal on the Wraith King or something like that so they can actually have damage through that BKB Lina.
Dire are scanning.
The seeds of fortune.
All right, well, the bounty runes are up, and they're getting snapped up by the side of the Hellbear Smashers.
Yeah, they got all of them. Curry found Rasmus.
Sure, he did find Rasmus, but does he have enough damage anymore? I'm not sure. Okay, if he's going to have Muff there, the BKB does come out, though, and they don't have any solutions. They'll throw out a Fissure from Gilgear just to ensure that Rasmus can get out easily.
What if he got first hit bash? That would have been sad.
That would have been very good news for the Hippos. That always feels bad, though. The percentage chance, you're just like, no! To Peck. Rasmus is here. Ace is here. He is very far up. I don't think he was expecting Rasmus to be here as well. The silence gets thrown out. And again, this Death Prophet is fairly tanky, but with the Lina joining into the fight now, can they take down this Death Prophet? Yes, they can with the Laguna and with Rasmus right clicks here.
That's the biggest kill they can find on the map. That's 70 seconds where Hippomaniacs can't fight. This Exorcism is extremely impactful.
Curry. No, looks like they don't realize he's up there. They don't have any vision either, but Abyssal Blade gets picked up now for Wraith King, like you were talking about. That's a solution here for this Lina when she BKBs.
Yeah, now if they go for those lasso plays out of the base, they have a instant follow-up and maybe some damage and control for it. But they do still have to pick and choose their targets quite carefully, as Stormstormer has 6,000 gold in the bank too, so he might just buy a full Linken's to protect himself versus those single target disables.
I have an Ethereal Blade picked up too now on the side of Hippos.
Okay.
Still no Death Prophet though for 25 seconds. They're going to allow Ace to put a decent amount of damage over here on the tower. Mambo's jumping forward here.
What the?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he... All right, they just wanted to clear them away, I guess. Yeah, he used the Abyssal Blade on that. I guess he thought perhaps...
I think they just really wanted to stop the push. I don't know, like CM ulted as well, so they just were really wanting to buy time for Death Prophet.
I'm surprised. I guess
they're chasing.
Oh yeah, they managed to go and grab Gilgear here. Rest of the team standing nearby, jumping forward. E-Blade comes out. Curry gets himself a kill on Gilgear, and they have a nice ward up as well, so they can see that the rest of the team all ran over.
Yeah.
So makes room for
Rasmus.
Rasmus.
Drawn by Smashers to push. Yeah. Sorry.
Witch Doctor Ags. No voodoo switcheroo though.
Does he really?
No,
oh,
not the full thing. He's working on it. Yeah, no, Tofu is not that wealthy. My God. Couple of these items coming out. We have the Satanic picked up now for Rasmus.
He is going to be very strong. I saw you had the Hex queued up. He looks like he just wants to be a right clicker, just stand in the fights and just attack back versus the Wraith King and versus that Death Prophet. I quite like it. Then he can actually help out with the PL with Ace, who also fresh Abyssal and, as you said, the Penta Edge Sword for the PL. Really nice pickup.
I feel like he has to. Like this Lina has struggled so hard in a lot of these fights, and that they just seem like a lot of the times when someone gets away, it's just with a tiny sliver of health.
Yeah. No, I like that he's gone for this build rather than for the caster. He hasn't even bought the shard. He's just playing about the team fight.
Using the BKB, he's got to try to run away here. The rest of the team is following up. Mambos going to rejoin. That is the BKB down on the Death Prophet. That's a fresh BKB that just got picked up as well.
That hurts to use, but he had to. He would have died otherwise. All that Maledict damage that was coming up from before, he would have taken even more. Timeless Relic picked up. Great pickup for the side of Hippomaniacs. And a Penta Edge Sword for the Wraith King, so they get their own. He actually gets rid of the... Okay, he gets rid of the Minotaur Horn. So he has no BKB, no way to protect himself versus spells on Mambos. Just all about damage.
All right, well, the Hippos are sweeping over towards the top end of the map. Curry, very forward here. Does have the rest of his team kind of supporting him from behind.
Gilgear gets a lot more freedom now too. He got the ninja gear, so now he can actually just swoop around through these wards. He can even look to reclaim the outpost. It's about 40 seconds left on it too. This is a nice grab, and this will protect him a lot versus Batrider. This is probably one of the best pickups you can find on the map. To just sit in the back lines and hide. Hippomaniacs will be the one to get the Illusionist Cape, so Smasher's not so lucky. As the TP is stopped, Curry.
Yep.
Gilga's gonna chain stun him.
Gets found. He's got the BKB, but they follow up and they have the Abyssals all set and ready here. Another batch coming out. Rest of the team, they even go and they throw the Witch Doctor Ward onto the high ground so they don't lose sight of him as Curry does get murdered.
90 seconds as well. Oh my god, that is a huge window for Smashers to do anything they want, really. If they're aware that he has no buyback, they can just push down this lane.
Grab up the runes at the very, very least. But yeah, you can see that they're grabbing their creep wave right now, and they're making their way towards top.
And send a courier to Roche as well, because you should know that it's going to be respawning soon. They might, if they get lucky with the spawn timer.
And they are truly blessed by the Ice Frog. Clearly.
It's pretty short. It's 48 seconds. So it's not going to be in time for them to go there immediately and get it, but...
A little damage on the tower.
Yeah.
All right. Ace chewing through the buildings. Take it down, Rasmus, giving those clicks forward too. Fissure gets tossed out, landing on 2. Oh, with the Wrath of Nature too. Oh my god, it's disgusting how much damage that comes out.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
That was almost a very dead Rubik. And just like that,
I feel like that spell should do less damage to supports. That would be a nice patch change. Wrath of Nature no longer hits supports with the last bounce. It just can't. It only can hit core heroes with the last bounce.
Yeah, one can wish, but I don't think we're going to get that lucky.
No, we won't. As the lanes now, the pressure's coming on all fronts. Double catapult waves coming into at this 40-minute. See how they deal with it. 13 seconds still for the Bat Rider as supports.
Oh, Senny, they saw you coming from a mile away. No Crystal Maiden now on the board. Mambos running right back into his base. Has finished up the Swift Blink, though.
Okay. No buyback is what that means. So he's full committed and no protection for himself. No BKB, no nothing. So stuns will be very tough for him to deal with. As Roche, as we said, respawning very soon. Smashers, it comes up right in front of them. They can commit for this one as it has a Aghanim's Blessing.
Ooh. I'm guessing probably going over onto Stormstormer, yeah?
Yeah, more than likely.
He needs that extra little bit, especially with BKBs online. Oh, okay. Tipek found a kill on Tofu. It's a nice pick-off.
Rasmus picked it up. He hasn't decided who's getting it yet, though.
I mean, that's still good, too.
Yeah, he's just hanging on to it. It's in his backpack. Hey, his isn't bad either. The root is actually pretty annoying. It's like AoE over... It's global overgrowth. But he hasn't moved it in yet, so hopefully he notices. Or hopefully he passes it off to Lina.
I'm sure he notices that he's got it. There's no way that he's just like, oh, hey.
Moxie, you know we say that, but we've seen cheeses and TIs left at pits at TI.
That's true. That's very true. I can't give them... There it is. Yes, they gave it to Lina. All right.
Yeah, a very appropriate one as he's playing into those BKBs. That'll be some nice burst chunk to go through. And Stormstormer now so much more protected. You know, he's finished his Lincoln some time ago. He's even close to that next approaching item. They've really started to secure the map within these last 10 minutes.
This has been one hell of a recovery game for Stormstormer.
Yeah.
Been difficult. Muff hunting. Curry also looking for an opening. Gilgir already backing up, though.
It's pretty crazy to say that one death from Curry, that was his only death. That felt like one of his only mistakes he's really made on the Bat Rider this game, and it is a pretty impactful one that he did die in.
It just opened the door, right? Like, it allowed them to realize, okay, there's no Bat on the map. We don't have to worry about this pressuring. We just go and we'll take, 2 towers off of it. It's wild. Muff?
It's mid-muff.
Oh!
Oop, the Abyss on a creep.
Yeah. It's fine. He meant to do that, right? It's just like, what the Wraith King did earlier. Totally meant to do that. Calculated.
Yep.
Rest
The Ace with the freedom of spider legs, too, so he is effectively a full 6-slotted hero right now.
That always feels nice.
Hood, not the best 6-slotted item, but Hood as a PL
It's
is
needed.
one of the better 6-slotted items.
It is needed.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Gilgir has the ninja gear. It's going to allow him... He's always had very good positioning, it felt like. And that is a testament to Hippomaniacs being in the right place, right time. But...
Yeah, it always helps him. He's just not going to get initiated on. Stormstormer just has to be careful when his Lincolns gets broken. He has to play back, as we see there. Lincolns comes back up. He might be able to step over again. They're going to back up. Rasmus continue to farm. He's got the 0 cooldown teleport. He can come back to his team whenever.
Oh, and there's a double damager outside the pit.
Yeah, they both teams have vision of that as well.
Would not be surprised to see Ace go saunter over that way and get himself a little double damage rune as a treat. Looks like he's got murder on the mind.
Yeah. Curry has to be cautious as well himself. He's also going for a Lincoln's, just any type of protection versus that Abyssal, so he can actually have easy targets to just jump in, BKB lasso, and not get controlled.
Are they going to go? Are they going to hard commit on this? It looks like they are. They're going to try to burn down this Wraith King's first life. Down he goes. Lasso's getting put over onto the back lines, over onto Rasmus, but they have these BKBs. They turn back around. The Ghosts are just shredding through Rasmus, though, as Tipek, he's got the Exorcism off. Now Stormstormer trying to just get over to the high ground. Ace over on low ground. Nice Fissure coming out. Will hold him into place. Can they burn him down fast enough? They do have the Ethereal Blade keeping Tipek alive just a little bit longer. So they're still hunting. Tofu gets off one of his spells. Good Glimmer Cape usage that will keep Tipek alive as he turns back around. But they're all hunting this Witch. They want to take down this Death Prophet. Light Strike Array comes through, and they'll finally take down Tipek.
They can't get to the back line on the side of Hippomaniacs. Gilger's just chilling, throwing fissures and enchant totems, chain stunning heroes. Same thing with the Witch Doctor. They are low on mana now. Stormstormer is a bit limited, but he has Bottle. He's still got Aegis. They're going to continue this push. 80 seconds, no Death Prophet, and just no Exorcism for a long time.
Oh, the jump forward immediately, but he's not able to finish off over onto Tofu. Tofu, he does eventually go down here. Echo Slam coming up from Gilger, though. It's beautiful as it lands over onto the back lines, and they're just chewing through Mambos now. Gilger does go down. Mambos, he's still alive, but he eventually goes down. There's going to be the reincarnation coming out. The lasso was used on this Phantom Lancer, taking a lot of damage, and I think it's enough to take him out. Now Stormstorm is just running for his life here, hoping that no one blinks forward, no one's gonna find him. Hiding over in the tree line. Looks like he's gonna be allowed to teleport out.
He actually just got casked between his illusion and himself. He got lassoed, pulled in, and then just the cask bounced back and forth. Probably dies anyway, because of the chase that they all still were alive with, but damn, what a fight by Hippomaniacs. Jumping in, a very unexpected one, the way they jumped too. As their Death Prophet's dead, they just see an opportunity to grab someone outside the base. And they do find the real PL. The lasso does snag him there.
And that was such a nice Echo Slam here from Gilger, but just the rest of the team crumbling during that fight. But
I'm
yeah,
watching
the lasso.
Just 0 mana in the back. Look at this Lina. He has a stun, but that's it. He has no mana. He has the Aegis to work with, but he has to reset because he doesn't have that mana. So a great identifying point by Hippomaniacs. And now, other way, they're knocking on the high ground.
Just getting reclaimed now. They'll buy themselves a little bit more time. The lasso, though, back here over onto Tofu as he's going to get dragged forward. They tried to use the Lincolns to save him, but not going to be enough. So down goes the Witch Doctor. Gilger is here, though, of course. Gets a nice Fissure off. Can Totem, throwing out a nice LSA, too. It's difficult for them to try to fight into this, but they're putting the damage out over onto the buildings. Bottom lane, you can see they're sending all of those trees. They're chipping away. Curry's trying his best to clear them up. Mambos does get forced back, though. They throw out a Fissure. Courier gets taken out, too. Looks like he's... What was he working on here?
Just working on Rapier.
I knew he had it queued up, but I wasn't sure.
I don't think he got... I think he killed it before he actually got to pick anything up, but... Oh, my. Some huge fights. As Rasmus getting caught off. No, he still hasn't even gotten the cheese off. He did die earlier without having it in his bags.
Well, I will say, like, the times you have to be scared, like, most scared of a wounded animal is when their back's up against the wall. And I would say the hippos right now. You know, they've, We
got the Rapier.
He did get the Rapier. And they smoke up.
This could totally catch him off guard. These heroes are going to start just getting, like, straight up one-shotted. Stormstormer has no armor items. He's 13 armor Lina. They're on the high ground, though. They're positioned nicely. The scan comes out. Curry, another Arcane Rune.
Doesn't matter, though. Curry jumping forward. There's Tofu, Stormstormer. Lincolns gets popped. Mambos jumping on in over onto the back lines. This Lina's taking too much damage. Does get the Liquid Blade off. A Stormstormer still goes down. It's going to be the buyback now coming out from Lina. They're not willing to give this up just yet. They've got so much damage as Ace also now going down. Tofu and Gilger trying to run away. The blink forward here. Tofu buys himself a little bit more time as he does have that Glimmer Cape. But a couple nice donks here with the coconut. Tofu leading them on a very slow chase, I guess. You know, he's trying to buy a little bit more time. But look at this. They're doing a decent amount of damage over there to the towers. Tofu still leading them through. They have the vision, though. Down he goes.
Oh, man, this Rapier is doing so much damage. He 2 or 3 shotted the Lina. And then they get Ace. He's singled out. He gets frostbitten. He gets focused down. Also 2 or 3 shot. Hippomaniacs are doing it.
They are indeed.
And Curry just, time and time again, he's just finding the perfect targets to go on. 5-1 and 16. This Bat Rider has played a pretty much perfect game. He had this hard lane and he recovered really nicely, and he's just finding every single one of these picks. This is crazy. Ace is 45 seconds.
Just watching these trees try to go through backdoor protection. Teleports over into the mid lane, though. They're ready to take some more buildings here. They do have buyback on the Phantom Land, so I don't think they want to. Bloodthorn is completed. Gilgir throwing out a fissure. Slow them down just a little. But it looks like are they looking to just finish? They're looking to just finish now. Put some pressure over here on the tier 4s.
Might be able to force. Ace has 15 seconds left. He really doesn't want to buy out.
Indeed he doesn't. They are putting some more damage, though, down into that bottom lane because Rasmus trying to rapidly split push as much as he can as the teleports are coming back. They do realize if they have an actual creep wave, these trees do a lot of damage. They get the lasso off, though, over onto Rasmus, plus the E-Blade. He's just stunned up. He cannot do anything. Does have the BKB, though, so not quite enough damage to take him down this time around, as there's this big smoke coming out from the side of Hellbear Smashers. Can they get anything off of this? Knowing that the bat's not there. They spotted out that ward.
There. Rasmus will find a courier. He'll TP out immediately afterwards. His team looking for the hunt.
The pincer, the smoke. Stormstormer needs to be careful. He's very far forward here. He immediately gets jumped out. Look at that raw damage coming out here from the Wraith King. As they go, they throw out a fissure. Can they kill him a number of times? All right, first death down. The Stolen Laguna Blade, though, over on the back lines from Muff, but they turn right back around again. Curry's doing so much damage on the back lines, though, as well. Stormstormer does go down. Mambos to fall next. And now it looks like Tepek, he's running away with these ghostly ladies. A fissure does connect, but they've not managed to find really anything else here. Saini is out of mana. They'll chase him down. So who picked it up? It is indeed Ace.
Yeah, they didn't actually get the control onto Stormstormer this time. The last time they did break the Lincolns and then get the Abyssal so that he got killed instantly. Stormstormer is able to reset. He gets a secondary stun. They surround Mambos and he goes down. 70 seconds, no buy. Now it's Ace with that rapier. He's got a second one queued up as well. As this time they're able to actually take the fight.
Oh, Muff.
Distance themselves.
Muff, oh dear.
Ooh, a gem's on the floor. They didn't see that one.
No, they didn't. Well,
I know.
Consolation prize. At least they, they murdered you, but they didn't mug you.
Dead? Yep.
Buyback coming out now from Crystal Maiden. They do have buyback over on the Wraith King and on the Rubik, but look at these buildings. They're just getting shredded. All right, there's the lasso drag back over onto Rasmus, but they'll jump back in again. Nice silence getting laid out. This is not looking good for Rasmus. It looks like he's going to fall, and they have their eyes over here onto this Phantom Lancer. He's going to turn. He's going to try to man fight over here, and they have the Ags over on the Witch Doctor doing so much damage as they do manage to take Mambos down the first time. Ace here trying to fight through, and he just doesn't seem to have enough damage. He's trying to run away here, and they just chase him down. Do they have the vision? Do they have anything to save this? No, they turn back around. They have the Hex. They've got their eyes on him. They're able to go and retrieve that dagger. Sorry, not the dagger, the rapier. Oh my god. Buyback now coming out from Ace. He wants to get back into this fight.
They have to defend their throne.
They do.
Ancient's dying to creeps right now. And a triple buyback that no way Smashers was prepared for. Hippomaniacs just jump out and grab them, and now Mambos running down mid. There's no Nature's Prophet. They got the catch. He does not have buyback. They might just be able to commit for the throne. There's no glyph.
And there's just so much damage again. The damage and the control coming out here.
They
get a Death Stone now picked up for the Bat Rider. They want to finish.
They know that they can. This is going to be a hard defense here for Smashers.
This is indeed the BKB coming out from Stormstormer. They'll get the Yules off as well. Curry jumping onto the back lines. We'll be able to go and grab up the Witch Doctor. Do they have enough damage? Can they just hold him down into place long enough? All right, Wraith King going down the first time. Curry, though, still hunting, and they have all these exorcism, all these ghosts coming out. They do manage to go and stunlock him, but they'll go right back in again. This is not looking good here. Echo Slam comes off, though. Can they defend? There's so much damage coming out, but they're still man-fighting him. They do manage to finally take down Mambos, and now they'll chase over after Gilgir. He goes down. Rasmus doing everything he can, but the Ancient, it falls, and the GG gets called.
Holy crap.